start by expressing our sincere gratitude and thanks to the Lord and to all of you for your prayers, the prayer partners that partnered up with each individual kid and leader. We're so very thankful for that support, for all of the snacks and yummies that were provided for our trips there and back. And while we were there, they definitely were enjoyed.
Thank you so much for that.
And terribly grateful. That was just, the Lord's hand was upon our whole week in so many different ways, and we'll get to share a lot of that as we go down the line. And I just don't want to give away too much to tell everyone else's story, but we kind of went into this this trip and planned the trip the way, or I think the Lord guided this trip the way He did, because we have so many young kids. This is their first time doing this, and actually Paulette and I's first time going as well to any kind of mission trip as well. So, because we were the only group at the camp that we went to. Everyone knows where we went. Is everyone familiar? Let me kind of give you a brief synopsis. We went to a place called Christ Outreach for the Blind in Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Our main goal there was to go and do any work necessary to help prepare the camp for upcoming campers. What they do is they bring in blind and physically handicapped people, and they actually allow them the opportunity to hunt and to fish and to hike and to be in nature and to do all these things that they either thought or they've been told that, you know what, you can't do this anymore. And the directors and the founders of this camp said hogwash, because Mike Gates, the founder of the camp, was actually blinded himself in a hunting accident when he was in his 20s. He's now in his 60s, so they've been doing this for quite some time now. And so we just, this is how they are able to make the camp experience for the actual campers free of charge, is by groups like us being able to go in, do all the work that's needed, and trust me, there's a lot of it. And so through many bumps, bruises, scrapes, burns, tears, and lots of laughter and fun as well, we were able to accomplish a whole lot.
Can I go next, or yeah? Okay. All right. 3 fingers. Look at me, Sarah. Huh?
White.
White. Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So, the one thing I wanted to say was just the confirmation that we were at the right place. You know, Jason and I and the kiddos, we prayed a lot about where should we go this year. We threw out a bunch of different places, and through prayer, this is where we were meant to be. And it really showed while we were there, because I think it was after the first or second night we were there, the kids, our teens, were like, man, I've been here before. They were sharing their deja vu moments, which was this beautiful opening for, that's not deja vu, that's the Holy Spirit. He was guiding you, God was guiding you, and showing you visions of this before we were even here. So this confirmation of, yep, we're there, this is exactly where you guys are supposed to be this week. That's my biggest God sighting for the week, knowing, because, you know, we want to do God's will, and we want to make sure we're doing the right thing. And it was just a beautiful thing, because they all were like, hey, you know, I feel like I've been here before. And then, oh, me too. And they were having these, sharing this time, and it was really cool. Being my first time on a mission trip, it was great. I have to say, I ended up hating the hill I had to walk up and down 25 times a day by the end of the week, but it was all good. Not that I don't need, right? We all need the exercise. So, but I'm just really proud of the kids. The kids came through on their own. They didn't need much guidance. You know, we guided because we're the adults on, okay, let's do this, this, and this for the day, but really, ultimately, they really came through, and they were so good and mature, and we were really proud of them, so.
So let me set the stage just a little bit for kind of how this all came together and where we went to. So first off, God sightings all over the place, but the high school youth group worked for quite a while to find the destination we were going to go to. And there was a small panic moment during the extended snowstorms and the extra school days where we thought the school season was going to go into this week. And if the state didn't forgive the school days, the snow days, we would have had to change plans, and miraculously the state forgave those and we were able to leave. So we left on Sunday morning at dark 30, 7 o'clock we got here. It was really early. And we headed for a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty. So drove to, if you go to the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and then go another 2 miles past that, that's where we went. We were quite literally on top of a mountain. This is a 900-acre compound. It's all fenced in, 8.5 miles of fence. And we went through the basics with the kids before we left. We said, look, we're going into Kentucky. It's a little bit different than Michigan. Michigan here, the winter kills off the poisonous snakes and spiders. Down there in Kentucky, not so much. So we made sure they understood that you need to watch out for snakes and kick piles of stuff. And they proceeded to say that snake was a boring word, and we needed to call it something else. So they called them nope ropes and hazard spaghetti and caution noodles, caution ramen, danger noodles, murder spagurter. We still don't know what spagurter means, but it's okay. Oh yeah, and judgmental shoelaces. That was another one. That was a good one. Yeah, judgmental serpent, yeah. They were definitely creative. So the blessing here, another God sighting, we didn't see a single hazard spaghetti anywhere the entire time that we were there. So we did see some spiders that talked back to us and did cannonballs into the lake. And they're big ones. But this camp is quite amazing. You drive up the mountain, and it's 50-foot cliffs off one side, 100-foot off the other side, and you're going up this kind of 2-track trail, and all of a sudden you get to the top, and you see it in some of the pictures. It's wilderness everywhere. It's past the bulldozed, but you get to the spot where we had cabins that we stayed in, and another God sighting. They were air conditioned. Life was good. And when we got there, like, okay, what are we going to do? So we were told going in that we were going to repair a covered bridge, and we were going to fix fence lines, and we were going to do some mowing and some weed whipping, maybe cut some trees down, that kind of stuff. So we did all of that. And the kids did amazing amount of physical labor. We moved wood that was, my estimate is we moved 8 to 10 tons of lumber. And I'm sure it's probably a low number because my spine still hurts a little bit. But the kids did fantastic work. Never a complaint. Not one. They kept and they soldiered on. We cleaned some buildings, some outbuildings. There were buildings all over this place. And when I say clean, you had to remove the mouse poop and the dust and the debris to get down to the flooring. So the kids, the way Mike put it is that the kids left their fingerprints in a positive way on this camp, and you could see the difference, you could see the effect when we were done. And that's actually pictures when we were fresh, and there's some pictures when we came back, and all of our clothes, no clean clothes, all dirty clothes. So, what am I missing about the camp?
I think, for me, I don't think that a day went by that we weren't amazed at the before and after. We walked into this place, and the only part that was really groomed was by the cabins and by the mess hall. Yeah. And so, grass is up to here, but these kids had to cut through, right? And it didn't matter. It was working rain or shine. We pulled them in when it was thundering and lightning out. most of the time. Yeah, but yeah. And lots of rain every day.
Lots of rain every day.
Yeah.
So the way our days went is we got up at about 7, the kids, we'd get them up and around, and breakfast was at 8 every morning. We'd work till whenever the kids were done. So we tried to be somewhat nice to them, and when they couldn't function anymore, we'd stop. But one of the most amazing things is after we were all done with dinner, we took a little bit of personal time, and we got together at night and we did some worship. Maybe Lindsay, if you can talk through kind of what we did from a worship standpoint, a fellowship standpoint.
Yeah, this is blue. Hold on. So they had this back porch thing. Actually, that was one of our projects, was to clean off this back porch area. And then we could use it and hang out at night. So we set up a drum kit and all our sound stuff, and then sang worship songs every night. And that was really fun. And then we kind of all huddle up and do a devotion. And then one cool thing that we did was everyone got a chance to share their story. And we did 5 F's. So it was family, friends, fun, faith, and future. Just kind of a way to get to know each other a little better. Two of our friends here got out of it because we didn't have enough time. But we'll hear their stories sometime. But yeah, so it was just really, really good time every night to kind of regroup and worship and get to know each other a little better. That was super fun. And so I think how we're going to do this is everyone's going to introduce themselves as we go down the line here and just share like a highlight of the week or maybe what you guys did, what you got out of it, just a little something.
I'm Anna, and it was fun being on the other side of this mission trip. I realized that I was definitely a little hung in on the ones that I went on, so this is a little bit of payback for what I caused my leaders. But overall, no, they were awesome. We had a really good time. We spoke in a Jersey girl accent to try and get through some of the difficult things we had to do.
That just has to stop.
Brian definitely did it the most, so. I just loved getting to know the girls. A lot of the week we were split up between the guys and the girls, just kind of, not really on purpose, but it's just, that's how it came down, and it worked out really well where we saw a lot of improvement, and it was overall a great week. I loved the Creation Museum at the end. That was really interesting to see. They brought a lot of points that I've never thought about with the Bible and just how the earth was made and when. And it was a good way to end off the week of being in nature for so much of the week and being all up in the spiders and the scary the chiggers and all of that. So that was a good way to end it. And we had a great last night of worship, and we all just knew each other a bit more. So we were feeling pretty comfortable, and it was just, God was all over it, and I was really grateful to be on the trip.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I think my favorite part of the whole trip was seeing what we did by the end of the week. Just all of the sheds and the barns, and how great they ended up looking afterwards. And another fun part was actually splitting the wood, because we were actually able to all work together for one part of the week, and I think that was probably my favorite part. I'm Lainey, and I think my favorite part was the worship at the end of the night. So we would just work hard, we would have our meals, and sometimes we would relax, but at the end, when you're feeling tired and you just want to sit down, the worship was definitely nice. And the 5 F's and getting to know each other was really nice. And the night that we were at the hotel, we had a great worship.
If I can just add real quick to Lainey's worship statement, there were a lot of times we went into worship and we were all just dragging, right? It's 8 o'clock, we're going into worship, and we're like, oh, all right, Lord, give us some energy and some fire. And one night, Lord gave us some fire and some energy. If anybody wants to hear it, we're more than welcome to share it. We got it on video. We recorded a heavy metal version of the doxology that is so cool that you have to hear it. So if you want to hear it sometime, just let us know. We'll play it for you. I was definitely getting a fire set in our souls at that point in time. It was fun.
Okay, I'm Melissa. My favorite part of the week was going caving, even though it was like the worst part, but also the best part. It was terrible, and I have so many bruises from it, but it was like the best. I don't know. I don't know how. Literally, it was like this big of an opening, and you crawled through it, and then you had to like crab walk through a cave, which I can't do.
But you did.
So,
No, I was sliding on my butt.
Oh, okay.
so what's important to remember at this point is this isn't like going to Blue Springs or Mammoth Cave. This wasn't a public cave with ropes and lights. And the guide at one point in time just said, "Is everybody okay with Jesus here? Because this is dangerous." I think he said that 2 or 3 times.
Everyone ready
He was-
for like, yeah.
But this is, and you'll see some pictures up here. This is a wild cave that the kids went into, and it's literally a crack right in the side of the mountain, right along a set of train tracks. We had to drive out to another mile past the camp, roughly, down some dirt roads, and they went in, and they could only go so far because all the water we received that week it flooded a portion of it out, so they went and stopped as far as they went, turned around, and came back. But it was literally a wild cave, so they had the opportunity. It was our last night there to go out and do some wild caving, which was an amazing experience for them, I think.
Hi, my name's Cullum, and I think that the best part of us being there was just working for the camp in general. I just thought that was a really good team building type thing, and that us working for the camp was just a really fun thing to do, just a really good idea.
I'm Avery, and my favorite part, or the most amazing part, was how much Mike, the leader of the camp, could actually do. He used like wood chopping machines and like hammers, and he's blind, so it's pretty amazing.
So, speaking of Mike, there's a point where we were working on this covered bridge, which actually, the far side of the covered bridge actually, if you look down, because the covered bridge actually was right in front of a dam that Mike built, by the way, being blind. And then on the far side, it's probably, 15 feet? 15, 20 feet from where it slopes down to concrete, where it's kind of a spillway into the next pond. So Mike has us go to the barn and get this 25-foot long, 1-foot wide aluminum pick, or a piece of scaffold. And he's like, throw it up there on the far side of the outside ledge of the bridge, which is only 22 inches wide. He's like, I want to get up there and start working on the roof.
No, you're not.
Yeah. And he was serious. He's like, I'm going to get up there, I'm going to start putting some wood up there, or taking whatever's up there down. And Brian and I were like, no. He was going to have us get up there too, and we're like, Mike, I'm sorry, but we're not doing that, and we're really not comfortable watching you do it. So did you wait till the next group to attempt that? So he apprehensively kind of,
It took a lot of
yeah,
talking.
he's convinced, but he finally opted not to climb up there. But yeah, I'm sure he's gonna try to convince the next group to make that happen.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I think the best part of the trip was kind of how much we did. Like all the wood, how much we moved, everything really. The funniest part of the trip, though, we were fishing. I think you know where this is going. And I was catching these huge bass left and right. and then I caught one, and then caught maybe, yeah, that size. No, this big. He couldn't catch anything. It was like the only fish he caught. He's like, oh, come on.
My name's Lucas, and my favorite part of the trip was sleeping. Yeah,
Yeah, who has questions about our trip? Is there any that, anybody who has questions? No questions? The heavy metal doxology? And so that was definitely a high point for the kids. It was they just gave them some energy, and it was a discussion topic for the whole rest of the trip. Mostly it was a discussion topic of, does everybody think we could actually come in here and play the heavy metal doxology, and would it be okay?
I guess they say, let's do it.
We weren't quite sure, so.
Greg?
Let's hear
Can we
They applauded for you, so go for it.
we can play the heavy, okay.
I
Do we
always
wanna
say
do it?
the sound can turn it down if you need.
Sound
can turn it down. Sergeant Sam. I'm all
All right,
for
we need all the
this.
singers.
Yes, you guys stay up here.
It's loud.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we can hear that.
Do we want to open with the traditional and then go into it?
Any complaints about this can be led to me because I don't get paid here.
So, traditional first.
Traditional first, all right.
Feel free to stand.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, we need to stand.
This mosh area. And crowd surfing.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Father, Son, and Holy
So I can't think of any better way to close. So I guess we should probably just enter a word of prayer. Yeah. Okay. Father God, we're just in awe of you. We're in awe of your creation and the way you work in our lives, Lord. We're just so thankful for this week that we had together as a body, as a family, and as your children, Lord. We continue to bless this group of young lives, that they continue to seek your face always, to always come to you first for everything they do in their lives, and for all of us together as a church family. Just thank you for giving us Calvary as our church home. We praise you, Lord, always, and give you thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen. With that,